Is she ready to get it going? And you ready?
Yes.
Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, she liked that beat. It's been a minute. It's been a while, actually. It's been a while. I got, well, first of all, welcome to the NOTI Lounge. I'm your host, Troy Smithereens, Troy Smith. The AKA Mr. Go Get It Done. Mr. Go Do a lot of stuff. Mr. Key don't know what he doing. What does he do? That's what she said. But welcome to the NOTI Lounge. Now, you may be wondering what the NOTI Lounge stand for, what the NOTI mean. It stands for not overthinking it. NOTI. We got Kee Bryant. Welcome, Kee.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Glad to be on.
That's the wrong one. I don't like that one. I don't like that one. I like this one right here. Welcome, Kee.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
There we go. Kee Bryant, everybody. We have somebody very important that's in the building today. Kee Bryant-McCormick, future judge. Now, I want to make sure which judge, because I keep messing up, keep saying circuit judge and all these different judges, but you actually...
No, it's General Sessions Court.
General Sessions Court, which she's going to break down and tell us exactly what the heck that is.
Yes, General Sessions Court. It's the hardest working court, the busiest court in Tennessee. So General Sessions Court is typically, we call it kind of the court of first resort. You know, like the Supreme Court usually is the court of last resort. General Sessions is where most people encounter the court system. That court has the biggest volume because that's typically where, like I said, people encounter court first. It for the civil side, it has jurisdiction up to $25,000. So that's the average beef with a person, usually is somewhere around that range or lower. If you're arguing with your neighbor about your fence or something of that nature, any disputes that are $25,000 or less, come to General Sessions Court. It's a fast moving court. So that's why people like that court. Also, criminal side, it handles most misdemeanors, all misdemeanors really, and as well as it's the gateway for felony courts. So if you have a felony,
gateway?
So if you have a felony and that felony can often be resolved in General Sessions Court, whether it's pled down to a misdemeanor or if it's determined that it needs to go before the grand jury, the General Sessions Court will have a preliminary hearing or determine if a hearing is waived or not, and then that way it goes on to criminal court.
Then when they come down to all this court stuff, you basically, do you need to be a criminal to know what's going on with all this? Because I just think of a judge as a judge, you know what I'm saying? I really don't think about which one I'm going to.
Well, that's probably a good thing that you haven't had to encounter court in that way, whether it's on the civil side or the criminal side. But oftentimes, it's, like I said, it's a court that truly impacts a lot of lives. You hit that court first. So that's one of the reasons why it's important. And just volume. I've had the privilege of sitting as a special judge for that court just a few weeks ago. And when the DAs when they printed their docket, it was 54 pages. So that tells you the volume that court can and does handle. So it's a lot of moving parts, a lot of people. It's usually a quick court that you get cases resolved in a very expeditious manner.
Oh, okay. So is it like Judge Mathis now? Is that what it is? So Judge Mathis is going to be, you know, when you go in, because that dollar limit is low.
Yes, but they're typically very low.
Yeah, they pay like $5,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, in most states, a court of that level is very, very low. Here in Tennessee, it's robust. $25,000, that's a life-changing amount.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if I said, you know, Troy, you're going to pay $25,000, that might affect you.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
probably not you because you big baller and got big pockets, but, you know, for the average person.
Well, let me go ahead to what she going, because she want to do jokes already. She want to do jokes. That's her. That's what she's doing, jokes.
I mean, you know, Troy, you got big pockets and big balling, so $25,000 is probably like a drop in the bucket for you. But for the average person, $25,000 is going to be an impactful amount, whether you're receiving it or paying it.
Right. So. Okay. Well, see, this is who I call when I don't know, which she don't have plenty of calls from me on a Saturday or a Sunday and just say, hey, I got a question. And then she hasn't sent me a bill yet, so I appreciate it. But today we're talking about actually getting her elected.
That's right.
That's the whole point of getting her elected. That's what we planning to do this coming electoral season.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that season, because for different places and different people, that means different things. Typically, for most people, think of election season as November. No. County races, the election season, it's May and August. So the May election is a primary election, and the August is the general election. So it's not a November election; it's a May.
Oh, so you're not going to be on the docket in November?
No.
Oh, so it's August.
It's resolved by then.
So in August when you voting for you.
Because you vote for me in May, and
that's what you want to have.
Prayerfully August, absolutely,
and prayerfully in August, because because you're going you actually going to become a part. You're part of a party. So they got the preliminary where you got you got 4 or 5 people. The primary, 4 or 5 people from the same party. Then they pick their one. Yes,
and that primary is in May. So you're right. So you've got, I think there are 4 of us in this primary, and then the winner of the primary, preferably me, will go on to face an opponent in the general election in August.
So we got to go ahead and get to it then. Let's go on and get to it.
Let's go.
Because we ain't even talk about where you from. We ain't talk about your life yet. We're just going to go straight to it.
Let's get it.
Because it's all about getting Kee in the office, right?
That's right.
Is it with Vote Kee, right? Is what it says.
Kee.
Vote Kee.
Vote Kee.
K-E-E.
Vote Kee, KEE.com. That's my website. That's pretty much my mantra. I think that's how you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Vote Kee.
Vote Kee. Well, there we go. So here's what we're going to do. But May is important. So the primary is very important because, like you said, prayerfully, it's going to be you.
Right.
So you got 4 people, though.
Yes.
From the same party?
Yes. So all of us are running in the Republican primary.
Oh, stop. Hold on. Stop. She just said something. Now, she knew I was going to touch on it a little bit. We're going to keep it simple so she don't get in no trouble. We're gonna keep it. Nobody will get in trouble because it's all about keeping people in the good space.
Right, and informed and educated on what goes on.
Yes. So now you said Republican Party, and if you don't know, Kee Bryant is an African American female who's been the first of a lot of stuff.
True. Well, I guess in general, but I don't look at the first. I look at where we're going and where we're headed.
Okay, so there you go. You see, she's been modest. So let me go on and just pull up a couple of accolades right quick, just a little bit, just a couple. First of all, after I get on my phone, because it's that I want to get. Here we go. Kee Bryant-McCormick.
Oh my goodness.
Is a traditional Athena 2020 nominee. I guess it's a hand clap. And a recipient. Yes. So she's going to tell us what Athena is, but we're just reading off the first of a lot of stuff. She is an attorney, but you no longer work at this one place. I
work at the Blair Law Firm.
The Blair Law Firm. Now, you were with Bone McAllister for a long time.
I was.
Everybody knew you from that.
Right.
I knew you from that.
Right.
When I walked in the door and I seen a black lady as an attorney, I mean, I know you see that often somewhere in Atlanta, but when you come into Nashville, and I was a part of, I think it was the Black Bankers Association.
Yeah.
And I seen you. I said, "Oh, we got."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I worked at Bone for 7 years. It was amazing. The people at Bone are awesome. It was an amazing experience.
Everybody love Bone up here.
They do, and it was a very, very great experience. I worked in the Sumner County office. And it was, like I said, I can't say enough great things about it. I left Bone to work at the Blair Law Firm with attorney Rebecca Blair, who's a friend of mine, and she needed some help. She wanted a Sumner County presence, and so that's me. I'm the Sumner County presence. Her firm is out of Brentwood, and I primarily am up here greater than half a week. So I work there, and she also knew I was running for office, so it was just a perfect fit for me. In the meantime, of course, Bone McAllister Norton is no more. They have merged with Spencer Fane, which is a larger firm, and so it worked out well. It was a great time to make a change.
Well, it's the first of a lot, but I'm going to just say that she's the first African-American female to be selected as the planning commissioner for Hendersonville. Are you still in that role?
I am not. So my term ended. I served as the mayor. So the mayor has the option to serve on planning, or he can have someone as his designee. And I was appointed by Mayor Scott Foster back in 2012. And so I served as vice chairman of the planning commission for 8 years from Mayor Foster as well as under Mayor Clary. And my term ended, and I finished, I think my last meeting was March of 2021.
She was a board member of the Rotary.
Yes.
Which I think you're the first.
I think I probably was the first African-American female
there doing that. And also some other first African-American stuff on here, but the list is too long for all that. But the thing is, she's big time in what she does. And welcome and thank you for being a part of the NOTI Lounge and being the first of a lot.
Thank you.
Being Black History Month. Side note, what are your thoughts, briefly, your thoughts on Black History Month in regards to being a month, or is it year-round?
Well, I feel like history is ever evolving. Yesterday was history. This morning was history. I mean, at some point, everything becomes history. So you're right. I don't necessarily confine it to a month. It's definitely a month to guarantee recognition, though, and observation. And I think that's pretty much how I embrace it. It's a month where I definitely give homage and also just reverence to the pioneers who came before me.
Got it. Well, okay, so Athena, what is that?
Oh, so Athena.
Because you were the recipient of that.
Yes. So Athena is, oh my goodness, it's surreal. It gives me just chills just thinking about it. So Athena Award is also a national award that is piloted by cable here in Nashville, or in the Nashville area. And other areas have Athena, I guess, put on by different entities, but here in Nashville it's put on by cable. And to be a part of to be nominated for the Athena Award, it is a very prestigious, coveted award, was plenty. My cup was running over just being nominated. So I was ecstatic. And then to become the 2020 recipient was just mind-blowing. So I was so honored and humbled to receive that award. I mean, it is just, again, I still have to pinch myself.
So it's a special place in your heart for that.
Absolutely.
Is it about, do they serve and give back a lot? So
Athena women are essentially, you recognize women that are leaders within their community in a variety of areas. And so, Athena women typically are extremely benevolent and humanitarians in their own right. Athena women believe in giving back to the community and enhancing particularly women in the community and how you build up people. So to be recognized as an Athena woman, it was just, again, I cannot even articulate.
Is it nationality based?
No.
It's all women?
It's all women.
And what's your thoughts on the fact of, when it come down to women in general, like, are you a lady to look at hero movies? Oh my God, it's a woman representing me in the hero movie, or you know how people like they say, oh, my daughter is getting to see. How does it feel to be like a female in front of everyone? Are you setting an example? Do you feel like being a person that you set an example for folks that look like you, or mainly just want to be the fact to set an example for women in general? Women are on the move right now. It's like that's the biggest thing going.
Well, I feel like my Christian faith takes me to a scripture that says, to whom much is given, much is required. So I just look at, I've definitely had some blessings and a lot's required of me. I don't take for granted that women have obstacles in front of us. I mean, the science is there to prove it. So that part's I think that's a different conversation, different day, but it's definitely, there are obstacles, even especially in my field, in the legal field, it's still very male dominated. And I definitely think there is something there for women. Now, whether this whole feminism concept versus other theories, that's a whole different story, different day. But I definitely think that for women, it is important to highlight women and to celebrate women, because it is an obstacle in and of itself. And of course, add the race to it, that adds a whole nother creature. I mean, I'm always excited about men and women who achieve great things. I don't take for granted that it just could be a woman. And I, by no stretch, want people to vote for me just because I am a black female. But
hold on now. I'm touching on all that. Yeah, because I want them to be. That's the whole point.
Don't vote for me just because I'm a black female. But don't let that be the reason you don't vote for me either.
Oh.
So that's my position on
him
that.
On both ends of it.
Well, as long as that's not the reason you're not voting for me.
Yeah. Because it's a whole history of. Key is someone in the Hendersonville area, Sumner County, is actually a staple. Let's be what it is. I mean, it's and I want you to, as you humbly take it, I understand, but you know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody know Kee. I mean, it's not a fact that people don't know. Kee is, this is not our first time running for anything. And we're going to get onto that. We're going to touch on that. But I want to get back to, we moved around, but we're going to get back to the fact of her actually now accepting the fact that she's going to be running as a Republican candidate and she's black. Talk about it.
Well, I have, and I will say it's not just, I mean, it's an anomaly, but it's not. I think as black people, we have to get away from the stereotypes in all facets. So whether it's the stereotype that you have to be a part of one party versus not, or can't be a party of another party, a member of another party is another situation. So, I mean, I get it that it's a thing and it feels novel at times, but I don't look at it as that way. I look at it as a method to be able to collaborate with other people who have beliefs in certain areas that can work towards a common good. And for me, I look at it as it's indicative of my service to the community in terms of wanting to be a part and to give back. So I just look at that's why I'm running for judge. I'm running for judge in order to be able to give back in a way that works well with my profession. It's kind of like before we started, you were talking about one thing. So, you know, I am the one thing that people know about me is that I believe in community service. I believe in giving back. That's just point blank period. That's ingrained in me. That's part of the staple of the grain of who I am. So to be able to give back and serve the community of Sumner County in my legal field is just gravy. So I look at this judicial position as a way of being able to serve the community and, you know, with my expertise. So I think that's the part that's, you know, great.
But you keep using that term community a whole lot. You saying it a lot. And then you use the term community around certain circles, community mean a whole different thing.
True. I
mean, so, you know, community in the black circle is that you took looking out for black people only. And then, but then in the white circle is looking out for the community, as the city, a thing like where are you in that line, or how did you get to that point to where it's like, hey, I'm looking at how do you look at community altogether?
Well, when I talk about community in this facet, I definitely mean community as in Sumner County. I mean, this is our community. That's what this judicial district will be. That's the area in which I'm running for. That's who votes for me. So I look at that. But I can't part and parcel out the fact that the black community is within Sumner County. I mean, it's all part of a whole.
But and where, so though? That's why I don't know. You and I are the only people I see probably at Publix or Kroger in Hendersonville. I'm out all the time. As anything, you know I'm outside. But with a mask on. But the fact is, the population is not huge. So when you say the term community, you know, you think, okay, well, there's no black people out here. You know?
But there are. I mean, the presumption is the fact that, I mean, surely you don't think we all have to live together, right?
Right, exactly.
I mean, I think that's the presumption, is that you all have to live in a cluster, and I don't think that, I mean, that's not true.
Right. That's true. I mean, you're right. I mean, I think, like you said, you're going to be, but see, this is what the issue ends up being. People talked bad about Obama being president, right? And one thing I liked about Obama being president, though, for real, was the fact that he said, I'm the president of the United States. And not just the president of this group or that group or this cluster of people or this cluster. He said, I'm the president of the United States. The key thing, like, and that's what we learn as we get out there. We learn that it's more than, it's about all inclusive in a sense, but then again, you can't forsake this group right here that could be marginalized, though, right?
Well, you know, I think that, I mean, of course, those are various topics, but when I think about, you know, Dr. King pretty much kind of articulated best, and paraphrasing, essentially that he asserted that our freedoms and our futures are joined, they're combined. And so that's the concept that my future. I cannot sit back and watch another group, I don't care who it is, whether I'm a part of that group or not, experience something that is adverse to them and not do anything within my power. And I look at it that you have an obligation as a human and a Christian to work towards trying to better people in general. So I think for me, that's my philosophy.
That's your philosophy of it. So you decided to go Republican with all the turmoil that could come around with that term, you know, folks that look like yourself and myself. You're a Republican. Well, and it's like, what do you mean by that? And then you have the people that might say they Republican. They say, well, you know, black people used to be Republicans back in, you know, Abraham Lincoln days because they freed the slaves, or, you know, they stick to that. And then you go to when it may have changed with, was it Johnson, when the Civil Rights Bill and things were put into place. It's like we're trying to find a home, you know? Well,
and I think that's the part of it that, you know, I say regularly is, you know, it becomes a stereotype. If you ask, or even, I would dare say, if you took a quiz on what party are you truly, and not put in racial demographics and things of that nature, and just took a quiz on your belief system, I don't know that it would come out the way you think it does. And the average person goes through that. So you're right. I think for people, you need to get past stereotypes that require you to belong in areas that you might not necessarily believe.
Because I'm a Republican. That's what I call myself. I'm a person that's, you know, that's the old, I guess that's the old term. That's the new term for an independent. You know, independent. You know, like I'm a fiscal conservative in a sense. I'm more of a social liberal, but then now it's kind of, I don't know if I want to be too liberally social. But that's because you're trying to put yourself in boxes. You know, and you got to get out of the box. You got to get out of the box. But I don't agree with a lot of stuff over here and a lot of stuff over there. So when you actually take, I guess like a relationship, you got to make a choice who you gonna be with. Like it's just like in relationship with politics. It's like it's kind of hard to jump on your side because you find out something to say, I don't like that. Then you got side to say, I do like that. But you know, I take my hat off, especially what's going, because people automatically think I'm a Democrat because I'm black. Right. They automatically say, "Oh, Troy, I know you're a Democrat." I didn't say I was that. I just let you assume what it is. It's the cliche. It's the stereotype. And then my black friends, because we live in an affluent area, they may say, "Oh, I know you're a Republican." What make you think that? That's not the case, and that end up setting it lower to where, you know, where we can't move forward to get things going. Like you say, you like look forward. Well, yeah, and the stereotypes to vote for Kee, and you should, because Kee's the best candidate right now and would be amazing for Sumner County. You need to vote in the Republican primary during early voting, which is April 13th to April 28th, or on Election Day, which is May the 3rd, in the Republican primary. And that's why it's important. So when we talk about the four people, you know, that's one thing to have, you know, when you go into the actual major general election. Is that what it is? The general election's August, yes. All right, so when you go to general, but you got to get the primary down and win that so you can go against the one person. Exactly. All right, so but just like you said before, more. More. In this case, it's one. Okay, so like we mentioned before, Kee this is not her first time running for anything. She actually ran. This is why people knew who she was. Why she's the golden child. The fact that she ran for alderman twice in Hendersonville, right, which is something like a councilwoman, right, in another city, right. So tell us about that experience. You know, you doing that. Okay, I ran for alderman, like you said, in 2010 and 2012. In 10, no one knew me, so I jumped out there just kind of brand new. Just what made you do it? Waters. What made you want? I'm not one of those that's just going to sit and complain. And I feel like if you're going to say something, be about it. So I definitely had some ideas and some things that I was concerned about in Hendersonville, and was like, okay, I want to make my voice heard. At that time, I didn't feel like the alderman that I had cared about my views. So I was like, well, I might as well try. So I did. It was great. I got like 43% of the vote. I was ecstatic. Just coming out the gate, getting that. Because you could have got blown out. Oh, gosh. I ran against a 20-year incumbent. So I expected to get blown out. Yeah. So 42% of the vote was 43%. It was amazing. So I was like, okay. So 2 years that it was a vacant seat. And I was like, all right, I'm trying for it. So that particular time I lost by less than 100 votes. And really I won because
the Board of Mayor and Aldermen changed tremendously. And the guy who ended up getting the seat, we tease all the time that I actually won because I didn't get the seat.
Yeah, because that's what people do. They say, "Hey, I don't want to be here no more."
I really won in that election. But anyway, from the voter perspective, and I say that because the bickering and all of that used to happen at the Board of Mayor and Aldermen is definitely not my style, and I was so glad not to be a part of that at that time. Exactly, and. So I ran in 2012 and got 49-point-something% of the vote. Like I said, I lost by less than 100 votes.
So by you being in this area that we're in, like I said, when you would go to Publix, you don't see many African American folk. No, let's be real. You don't see many of them. Don't be doing the show like, well, maybe. No, if you see 2 out of 6 months at the same time, and then you look at each other like, oh snap! You live out here?
Oh my goodness!
What's going on? Here's my number. Here's my name. You doing that? But so when you went through it, how was the experience though? Being, the fear is that no one wants you. No one going to actually vote for you. They might be closet hating on you in a bad way.
I didn't get that. I mean, I really didn't. I had a lot of support from all nationalities, and I mean, you already knew 49% of African American people didn't live here, right?
Yeah.
So to get 49% of the vote at that time, I definitely knew that, I had a lot of support all around. So it was great. I mean, it was excellent. So I definitely wasn't, my support wasn't just exclusive to the African American community, just as it isn't now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because the percentage is like, 6% in Hendersonville, and some of the counties is whatever. It's a small amount. However, you're learning that you got to be in the room to make things. You just can't complain and say things and then not be a part of.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and just complain, etc. I tell people all the time, you've got to vote. You've got to exercise your right to vote. And if you don't like the choices, then get in it. And that's pretty much my attitude about it. And I feel like, again, to whom much is given, much is required. So it's time for me to put up or shut up.
So what made you go, now let's get into that, and then we're going to touch on your personal life a little bit, then we out.
Okay.
But tell us a little bit about what made you say getting into being a judge. I mean, because judges, you running for it, but it's not like you actually a true political candidate.
Right.
You more, you got to be selected by the public, but tell us a little bit about what made you want to do that.
Yes. So that's kind of why a little bit of my answers are a little bit of evasive on, the party views, because as a judicial candidate, we can't really give our political views on topics in case that topic comes before you as a judge. So you want to make sure that you're impartial and you look at things with a fresh set of eyes and you hear all the facts. So judicial candidates, it is kind of weird because we are required to run and we are required to run partisan, but we can't truly be partisan. So you can't hold various memberships or positions or, give your opinions on various political issues. So it definitely creates a bizarre being. Why I decided to run for judge, again, I look at it as a view of an extension of my service, as well as a way to be able to help people in a different manner, in a different sense. As a lawyer, I'm an advocate and I fight hard, and everybody knows that. That have ever encountered me, they know that it's about to be on. But for me, it's... And
that's the one thing people do know about it. Now, see, she's very modest right now. She's very, very sweet. But one thing about Kee, though, y'all, for real, she's a firecracker in a good way. But she goes hard, and she's like a mama bear. That's what she is. She's like a mama bear. She really goes hard.
And I got a lot of little bears, and I don't mean like the ones of my. I'm that person who fights for everybody. So
even dads,
right?
That went through divorce.
I just had somebody recently ask me, "Do I only represent men?" And I'm like, "No." I guess just men like to fight. I don't know. Like my fight. I should say.
Yeah.
So
you don't just back down. That's what makes you. That's gonna make you a good judge. Actually, a strong candidate for being General Sessions judge, because you'll give you're a person of second chances. But then again, you're gonna let someone know sternly, like, look, this is it.
My philosophy in my campaign is fair but firm. So for me, you're gonna get fair and firm. My yes is yes, my no is no. But I'm fair. At the end of the day, you might not like what I do, but you're going to walk out saying, you know what? I didn't like what she did, but she treated me fairly and I had my day in court. And so that's the part that I can definitely promise.
Yeah, but so what you running, that's what made you want to get out there and be about it.
Well, yes, and I had some encouragement. I'm going to be honest with you, Troy. I wasn't just looking to jump in. It's a beast to do this. I mean, it's hard, it's taxing, it's a lot of time, energy, effort, and resources. And so it's a lot. So for you to put yourself out here in the public light and under all the public scrutiny and have to run and ask for votes and finance all of this, I mean, it's a lot. So I had to have encouragement to be able to get in this race. I was not looking to jump in. I had a judge encourage me. And a judge actually encouraged you? A couple of them, actually. Okay. And then I prayed about it and I fasted on it for a month. And finally got the answer that I needed to. Right.
Neck all hanging out there.
And got the answer I needed to, and I'm in this race.
Yeah. So, and then it's strong.
Yes, and it's very strong. I'm very pleased with the campaign so far.
Well, are you from Middle Tennessee yourself?
I am not. You know, I tell people love brought me to Tennessee. My husband had gotten a job in just a couple months prior in April, and we got married at the end of June and moved here. I came here for my honeymoon, and the rest is history. We've been here. It'll be 24 years this June.
From where?
So I've lived in 5 states.
Okay.
Originally California. Family did this kind of backwards migration thing and moved to Mississippi.
Oh, God.
I know.
That's a wide awakening.
Yeah, right. I went to college in Missouri, and I went to law school at Texas A&M and also at Vanderbilt.
So your last destination before you came here and got married was where?
So it's kind of complicated, but ultimately my husband and I were a blind date and we met in Mississippi.
Okay.
So
a blind date.
Yes.
Like internet blind date or like real blind date back in the day?
Like real back in the day.
Okay. Like you really didn't know what he looked like, and you didn't get to research him or none of that.
No, none of that.
It came from your friend. You didn't meet this guy, girl. I'm telling you.
Right.
Okay. So tell us a little about your family a little bit. So you got your husband. You have any children?
I have one son. He's a special needs guy. He goes to Station Camp High School. And while it's just one, sometimes it feels like it's 7.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what does he deal with?
He is autistic, and he is super fun, but also super challenging.
Right. Do you feel that actually helps you be human as well? I know you're superwoman to a lot of folks, but showing that you also had a human side about you. Like, look, I have, we all work together. We all got things we go through our life with. Children, husbands, anything. Well,
I tell people all the time, because they'll look and be like, gosh, Kee, you got it like all together. And my phrase to them is, you want my glory, but you don't know my story.
Oh, that's T.D. Jakes on him, man. I heard T.D. Jakes say one time, he said, you want whatever everybody wants, but they want what I got, but they don't want to go through what to go through to get it.
And that's exactly me. For me, I tell people all the time, be careful what you ask for, because I was born with a birth defect. I've had 17 surgeries. I've had a number of ups and downs and challenges and deaths in the family and losses. And, I have a special needs child. It's a lot. I tell people all the time, be careful what you ask for.
Now, how are you doing that, running for stuff and being a part of, you're an attorney. Everybody know who you are. You serve everybody in the community. You got the situation at the house that you got to make sure you're there for them. How in the world are you even getting all that done?
But God. That's all I can say. But God. The Lord provides. I don't know. I don't know.
You actually are a representative of a lot of people.
I try.
Nationality, biologically, right?
I try.
Special needs, families. What else are you not a part? You're in the judiciary system. You're part of different organizations in the community. You actually touch all different areas, a lot of different areas in life. Why would they want to vote for Kee? Tell me why somebody wouldn't want to vote for you.
Wouldn't want to vote for me?
Yeah, tell me why somebody. That's a different question, right? Because you normally hear a question about someone says, tell me why they should vote for me because this, because that. But why wouldn't they want to vote for you?
I guess oh, wow. I don't know. I guess they wouldn't want to vote for me if they didn't like someone who is going to be fair and firm, somebody who does care about the community. If you just want clicks and friendships and relationships and a little bit of, whatever, then sure, I'm probably not your person. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be your person if you think that I am politically influenced on the bench in my job. I'm not. If you think you can buy me, I'm not your person. If you think, you want somebody who's going to not be fair or not do their job right or not hard work or, those things, and then you're right, I'm not your person.
Not at all, huh?
No, I'm
Can't
not.
slide you a couple dollars. There you go.
Never.
No. Hey, look, man. Just look out for your boy.
Never. My ethics come before. At the end of the day, I want to see God. I want to see Jesus. So my ethics are never for sale.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I gave you a hand clap on that, man. She said. So we're gonna get ready to end it all out. But so we're gonna be doing an event for Kee, and that's gonna be the end of the month, February 28th. Jonathan's Grill here in Hendersonville, Tennessee, at 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. All right, we're going to be actually doing a meet and greet for Kee. I want you to come and meet Kee. So if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, well, Sumner County area for sure. If you live in Sumner County, come and meet Kee, Jonathan's Grill, on February 28th at 12 p.m. to 1 or 2 p.m. Come meet Kee. Meet and greet, get to know who she is, get to learn about the firmness of her. Come and meet the mama bear in truth and spirit right here in the flesh at that point. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we head out and just before we just end all this? Because I want to thank you for sure for being a part of this too. Well,
I just invite people to the website to learn more about me. It's votekee.com. There you can learn about who I am, things that I believe in, what I plan to do with this court. One of the things about me, I will give my strength is I'm very creative and I don't take no for an answer well. So I'm going to find a way to look towards things that make Sumner County better. I'm a strong advocate for recovery court. I believe that sometimes you need to get to the root cause issue of why people are having problems. So if you've got a drug issue, jail isn't necessarily the best place for you. We need to fix your issue. Otherwise, you're going to come right back. Mm-hmm. So I believe in recovery court. I've got some other great ideas for some other expansions of some programs and creations of some programs and just some things to make the court a little bit more innovative. I'm inheriting a great court. It has a great foundation. Judge Hunter and Judge Carter have created a great foundation for this court. So I'm inheriting a jewel, but I've got some ideas on how to shine it up a bit and to get it going. Also, on the website, it gives you the opportunity to join me, to get involved in the campaign, to volunteer, to be a part, as well as, as a judicial candidate, I can't ask people to contribute, but they've got that option on the website. So it just gives a wealth of information and the ability to be able to connect and get involved and learn more about why they should vote Kee.
I'm going to tell you, go give her some money so she can go ahead and get some more advertising out, get some more stuff out. I can tell you to donate to her. She can't, but I can. But definitely,
thanks, Troy.
One thing I like about Kee before I get out here is that the fact is that she's willing to listen. That's a huge, judges all the time sit back there and look like they're falling asleep listening when they're in the court. But when you actually call her and say, this is my concern, and this is what I'm, even about something that you might say, hey, this is what my concern may be for this. She actually say, thank you for bringing it to my attention. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I didn't get that, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the talk. That goes a long way for anybody. Some people can get to a point where they're all high and mighty and they the golden child, but then they actually can show, yeah, I'm not talking to that person again. And Kee is not that.
Well,
so don't try to come to her with that $100, try to slide it on the table and say, hey, can my boy get out on the bond a little bit?
That is not going to help you in the least bit. That's going
you might
to
get
hurt
cussed
you.
out.
I was saying, no, that's going to hurt you.
In a spiritual sense.
Yeah, that will not help you.
Matter of fact, you going to jail.
That is correct.
Get her.
That bribery is a crime. That is correct.
But I want to thank you, though. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for hosting me. I appreciate you so much, Troy.
But you know what? But y'all know the deal. Thank y'all for being a part of what we got going on. Be inspired, be encouraged. Remember, the true outcome of having a mindset of successful thinking is having an unwavering expectation of successfully achieving a predetermined goal, knowing that the outcome was supposed to happen. Kee got to go. We appreciate y'all. We holla.